Andrew Wiggins in purple and gold. Picture the first defensive stand at Crypto. Lights down, crowd leaning forward, and a long-armed wing sliding to the nail, cutting off a drive before it becomes a problem, and then exploding the other way for 2 easy points. That image just raced through the group chats of Los Angeles tonight, and it's not because fans are bored. It's because the clock on this window is ticking louder than it has in years, and the front office knows it. You can feel the urgency in your bones, a roster one smart move away from becoming the team nobody wants to see in May, a phone that won't stop buzzing, a name that makes every Western contender sit up straight. Tell me your pulse didn't jump at least a little, but hold on, breathe with me. This isn't about forcing a headline. This is about timing, fit, and courage. Because the league has shifted under our feet. The West is longer, switchier, and far less forgiving of teams that can't defend the wing, punish switches, and keep pace when the game turns into a run-and-jump sprint. The Lakers don't need a celebrity splash. They need the exact screw that tightens the whole machine. And that's why this conversation feels different. It isn't smoke for the sake of smoke. It's geometry, the angles of LeBron's creation, the gravitational pull of Anthony Davis, the footwork and pace manipulation of Austin Reeves, plus one more two-way piece that makes all of it add up to a shape the rest of the conference hates. Here's my promise if you stay locked in. I'm going to walk you through what changed in the Lakers' internal calculus and why it matters. The basketball case for a big two-way wing right now. The cap mechanics and realistic trade structures that actually work. The ripple effects on rotations, the half-court offense, and closing lineups. The risk profile if this pushes to the deadline versus now. And the human piece role, trust, and how you sell a veteran room on a bold tweak rather than a tear-up. No spoilers yet. The reveal hits harder once the stakes are on the table. You're watching Lakers News Fan Report, where we talk like fans because we are fans, and we don't run from the hard questions. If you ride with this team and want every angle, smash that subscribe, drop a like, and stay till the end. Because this is the kind of move that changes how a season feels, not just how a roster looks. Let's build the context. The Lakers sit in a razor-thin tier, not rebuilding, not complacent, absolutely not done chasing banners. LeBron James still bends space the second he crosses half court. Anthony Davis remains the league's most terrifying defensive cheat code when he's allowed to be everywhere at once. Austin Reeves is a problem-solver pace, deception, second-side reads, and he's still adding counters. The supporting cast has shooting pockets, size, and specific strengths. The staff wants to toggle between heavy pick-and-roll and motion principles, to flow from pistol into elbow into Spain into a quick post split without calling their shot. On a good night, it already looks like playoff basketball. On a bad night, the gaps are obvious. Point of attack defense against big downhill wings. One more finisher who can turn a 50-50 possession into a layup without LeBron having to press the gas. And the ability to stay big and long while still spacing the floor. That's the introduction. Now the headline. The Lakers are actively exploring a path to Andrew Wiggins. Here's why that sentence matters. Wiggins isn't coming in to take 20 shots. He's coming in to make everything simpler. He guards the guy who makes you lose sleep, the Tatums, the Bookers, the Cowards, and he does it without needing help. He runs the lane hard, and when you pitch ahead to him, he finishes clean. He cuts with purpose when the ball is with LeBron, turning a standing crowd into a moving defense. He screens and slips just enough to force the weak side tag, which opens the left wing skip pass LeBron has been throwing since St. Vincent St. Mary. He's comfortable as a third option, which matters on a team where first two will always be 23-3. And on the nights the jumper hums, he erases your droughts. Basketball fit first. Imagine a standard late game set. Horns alignment, AD at the left elbow, LeBron at the right. Reeves enters and flows into a dribble handoff with LeBron. Wiggins starts in the weak side corner, then 45 cuts, the gap the second his defender's head turns to the ball. If the low man stays home, it's a dunk or a foul. If the low man tags, the corner three is sitting there like found money. Add a wrinkle. Invert the action and let Wiggins set the ghost screen for LeBron, forcing the switch. Now the opposing point guard is on Wiggins 10 feet from the rim with a runway. None of that requires ISO ball. It's within the Lakers' current language. Defense? This is where the move pays for itself 10 times over. AD protects the back line like a guardian. Wiggins adds a wall at the point of attack against big wings, so AD doesn't have to solve everything. It restores the security that lets you keep shooters on the floor without hemorrhaging stops. It lets the staff play with more aggressive coverages, top-locking shooters, switching late, even flirting with a few possessions of zone to reset rhythms, because you have another athlete who can recover when the rotation chain breaks. And it means fewer possessions where LeBron has to take the toughest wing just to steady the ship. Role clarity is essential. The Lakers don't need Wiggins to become a heliocentric scorer. They need him to be a connective finisher. 14 to 18 points on efficient shots. 2 or 3 possessions a quarter where he forces rim pressure without a call. The best wing defender on the floor most nights. And a closing lineup pillar whose length prevents teams from hunting the smallest body. That's not downgrading his talent. It's placing it where it wins the most games on this roster. Now, the business. Trades live in 3 worlds: money, picks, and psychology. Money has to match, or you're wasting everyone's time. Picks are the price of certainty. Psychology is a thing nobody wants to say out loud. Are you willing to move on from players the room likes if it gets you closer to June? Realistic structures exist. You're talking mid-tier salaries that stack, a first-round chip if the market requires it, and potentially a third team that turns surplus parts into a clean fit. The Lakers won't gut the rotation. The whole point is to add a two-way piece without puncturing the second unit. But there's no version where you get a two-way wing in his prime for free. You pay something, or you wait and watch someone else pay it. Timing is its own character in this story. Do you strike now and bake the role into your system during the early months, get the where do you like the ball? Chemistry reps out of the way before the schedule turns mean, or do you slow play and let the deadline chaos potentially drop the price? Both are defensible. The risk of waiting is simple. The market never sleeps, and the first clean offer that fits the seller's priorities ends the game. There's also the risk of noise. If you dance too long in public, you risk your own locker room hearing the music. Acting decisively has a cost in picks, but a dividend in focus. Let's be responsible. Is this done? No. This remains an exploration, not an announcement. Is there mutual logic? Absolutely. The Lakers need exactly this profile. Wiggins needs the kind of offensive environment where his tools matter most and his role is crystal clear. Both sides would benefit from a summer without questions next year. But we are still in the realm of negotiation frameworks, counter frameworks, the quiet back channel. Would you consider if that defines this league? That's the truth, Dot. So let's talk rotations, because that's where fans live. A plausible starting five with Wiggins features LeBron at nominal point forward, Reeves as your secondary creator, Wiggins on the toughest wing, AD anchoring, and a fifth slot that toggles based on opponent shooter for gravity, size for rebounding, speed for pace. The bench then becomes clean. Keep a second unit that can survive minutes without LeBron by emphasizing pace, handoffs, and quick-hitting actions that get Wiggins downhill against bench defenders. Late game? You're hunting your favorite matchups. Empty corner pick and rolls with LeBron Wiggins to force a switch onto a small, Spain actions with Reeves as the spacer or screener, and a D lurking for the lob when the low man is late by half a step. Notice what that does to the endgame math. Fewer forced pull-ups, more paint touches, better shots for your shooters. Risk factors exist, and they matter. Availability and consistency. Every fan knows the years where Wiggins drifted, then remembers the playoff runs where he was a hand on the scale. Fit is not just film. It's habit. The Lakers will need him to sprint the lanes every time, crash the glass with a number in his head, and accept that some nights the ball finds him, and some nights he has to find the ball. The good news is that this roster rewards that approach. If you run, LeBron rewards you. If you defend, AD rewards you. If you keep the chain moving, Reeves rewards you. The culture nudges the right habits. Let's hit the cap one more time, because you can love basketball and still respect spreadsheets. The new rules punish teams that carry too many big numbers without internal growth. That's real. But there's a separate tax, the one you pay in squandered chances if you get cute and finish third in a conference where the top two went all in. The Lakers have always been at their best when they move with purpose. That doesn't mean recklessness. It means you identify the exact thing you need, and you commit to it before someone else does. Is this fact or speculation? Call it informed speculation. Serious interest, viable pathways, no pen on paper. In this space, words matter. Nobody here is claiming a handshake tucked inside a manila folder. We're saying the basketball fit is screaming, yes, the timing is coherent, the cost is digestible if structured well, and the upside on both ends is the kind that changes your season arc. My opinion. I do it at the right number. Keep Reeves out of every call, preserve at least one future first for flexibility, and focus on packages that swap redundancy for need rather than soul for name. If the ask balloons into something that strips depth and future optionality, you walk and live with the bet you've already made on internal growth. But if the price sits where it should for a two-way wing who raises your floor in January and your ceiling in May, you press the green button and you don't look back. Because LeBron's window is not theoretical. AD's prime is not a dress rehearsal. And a team that can throw Wiggins at the league's best wings while keeping its offense in rhythm is a team that plays with house money in every fourth quarter. Lakers don't need to become someone else. They need to become the hardest version of themselves, relentless on defense, opportunistic in transition, ruthless in shot selection, calm when the game speeds up. Wiggins deployed correctly pushes every one of those buttons. That's why this isn't just another rumor cycle to doom scroll past. It's a fork in the road. And if you've watched this franchise long enough, you know what the right turn looks like. It looks like length at the nail, a block dunk attempt that turns into a runout, a cut at the exact moment a defender blinks, and a scoreboard that reads, Lakers by 4 with 1:12 to play because one more possession turned into 2 more points. So we wait, impatient and locked in, ready to celebrate a front office that sees what we see. If it happens, it's not a splash for the sake of noise. It's alignment talent with role, roster with rules, ambition with timing. And if it doesn't, the standard doesn't change. Because the window is open right now, and Purple and Gold has never been a franchise that stares at open windows. It jumps.